Hey everybody, it's Brian Dombach from GSM Industrial. Today I want to talk a little bit about painting your metal fabrications and finishing options. Sometimes customers come through our shop, they might see a particular finish on somebody else's project and they think, wow, that looks great, mine's going to look just like that. Or they don't see a look that they like and they're really not sure what else is available. Obviously, we just want to give you what you want and what makes sense financially. There are lots of options out there. So we're going to just show you a couple broad categories here that we typically do in our shop. So starting out with carbon steel, this is mild A36 steel, and if you don't specify, this is probably what you're going to get. We first blast the raw material with a steel grit blast. So a lot of people call it sandblasting, but it's really steel grit. We're not using sand anymore. That's going to get the surface uniform. The texture is rough enough to get good adherence, but smooth enough to be consistent across the whole thing. We're then going to put a prime coat on. Typically we're using a Sherwin-Williams product. It's a Chem Flash 500. It comes in a couple different colors. And then finally a Sherwin-Williams acrylic enamel finish coat after that. One thing to pay attention to, however, is that this does take some time. Sometimes our customers are wanting the product to ship as soon as we're finished welding, and unfortunately we can't control dry time. So depending on the size of your project, you might need another week's time in order for us to get it blasted, get it moved into the paint booth. We're going to paint it once with the prime coat. It needs to dry. Sometimes that's a day or two. Then we put the finish coat on it, another dry time, and you really want to give it enough time to cure so that when we strap it down to the truck, it doesn't mess up that paint that we just put on it. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about your painted projects. Next, we're going to talk about stainless steel a little bit. Unlike the previous example, it's not about protection from corrosion. It's more about aesthetics and the look that you want. We can mechanically grind and polish as little or as much as you want. We're going to use abrasives and rotary tools to take care of scratches and imperfections in our levels 1 and 2. Really, we're not doing anything to the base metal. You can still see imperfections. You can still see some scratches and stuff. We're just cleaning up the weld seam to make sure that it's good. And then as you move down to levels 4 and 5, we're going over the entire surface. We've ground away the weld so that you can't actually see a seam. And we're polishing the entire surface area. And again, we can put progressive levels of grit from a rougher, coarse grit to a very fine grit, and we can get it pretty nice and smooth for you. Now, if you're talking about pharmaceutical grade, if you have really stringent polishing requirements, then you're probably going to want to go to a shop that's dedicated solely to stainless steel. They're going to be able to get you a mirror finish well beyond our GSM number 5 level. Now let's talk about blasting stainless steel. A lot of our customers, especially in our space where we're doing a lot of industrial projects, we do a lot of stainless steel, and this is a surface that is suitable for their needs. So mill finished has nothing done. We can blast it with a star blast, which is an abrasive, so it's actually abrading the surface, getting, again, those imperfections out of there. You can use a bead blast, which is glass bead. It's round, it doesn't abrade or take away any metal. It's just peening the surface and again, getting it a little smoother, making it look better. What we'll typically do is both. So we'll hit it first with the star blast, then we'll come back around to hit it with the bead blast, which gives you a combination and a really nice aesthetic across the entire project. That covers kind of a general overview, if you want, of the finishing that we typically do in our shop. If you would like to see these samples up close, you want to come and touch it, feel it, see some things that's going on in our shop, just talk to us. We've got various options and cost points available, so get in touch with us and we'll be happy to help you out.